Okay, anyway, let's start. And Dave, if he can, he will join. So this is our studio photography insights. And today, hopefully, we'll have Day Nietzsche. It's me, Alex Koloskov, and we got Don Weaver. How to correct pronunciation the last name?
Weaver.
Weaver, okay, sorry. No Katz, Paul Bartel, right? Paul.
Yeah, it's Bartel.
Bartel. Okay, so I probably
right.
need to start. Need to stop at first names. Steve and Tim. Dr. Timothy. And guys, yes, it will be. Today we'll be talking about reflective subjects. Shooting reflective stuff, starting from jewelry or any other highly reflective chrome, nickel kind of stuff. Usually it's tricky. And we got about, how many, like 13 or 14 images submitted, which is pretty cool.
That's good.
And yeah, let's go. We won't have Ron Gibbs with us. Yeah, he sent me email, and he'll be busy for probably 3 to 4 hangouts, so more than months probably. And that's probably I'm going to start from his shot. Why? Okay. Okay, so this is Ron shot. I don't know, guys. Have you seen the lighting setup? How it was done? Did you see it on forum? It's composite. For those who didn't know or doesn't know how it was done, this is kind of composite shot with those 2 balls and I don't know, third ball. Ooh. And he got candles. Shoot separately, and then he combined everything inside shot. So pretty good. I like shot very much. What can be possibly improved here? You see, as with any reflective subjects, to show it reflectiveness, to show it glossiness, we need to have highlights and dark areas. So probably here it will be cool to have more brighter areas where it highlighted, probably even a little bit overexposed. That's kind of what gives us that glossiness. And also, if it would be completely like shiny stuff, shiny subject in the real flame was coming on top, the reflection will be much more visible. And it's because it's a mirror, basically, right? So that's what probably would do. I would probably increase light on those 2 soft boxes, or there was from the sides, to make it brighter there. Other than that, pretty cool shot. Do you guys have any comments?
So the reflection, he said the reflections of the or those flames, those were composited in, weren't they?
Yeah, it should be composed because no way. But you see, it's the reflections a little bit. I mean, not as bright as they're supposed to be if they would reflect from completely like mirror surface.
It'd almost be the same as the flame itself, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because now it gives almost like a matte feeling for these balls.
It's a bit gray, actually.
Yeah, gray and matte, some kind of and. The cool thing is that we see reflection from each other, which is kind of gives us the idea that it's reflective. But you know, when it's too soft, it's not good. So we need to be somewhere between soft and hard reflections, and probably play with both on that reflective subject.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I like it. I like the concept a lot. I think it's really neat. But I think like. The only thing that's really giving away the shape of the object itself is sort of the edges and the reflection of the opposite chrome ball. Otherwise, you could be looking at the white, and it's rather flat looking, I
Yeah,
think.
right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was saying like a matte, it's more like flat. You're right.
But I love the colors in the background and how I guess it's a crystal ball of some sort, how that brings everything into focus there, and the lights there. That's kind of neat.
Yep. Let me post the link to G+, just in case. Okay. So let's move to next one. This, I think, well, I forgot who did it. Anyway.
I think that's Terry. Terry.
Okay, right, yeah, Terry. No. No. Okay, we got comment. Well, Zhenya, I don't read. Looks like Dave can join us, but why? How many people do we have in Hangout, guys? That's strange. We still have room, and Dave is saying that he can join us. Let me. Well, maybe I did wrong. Maybe I need to invite Dave. Let me see.
I'm gonna have to get. I don't know if I can show this. My thing crashed.
Just a moment. I kind of stopped because Jenny just told me that Dave can join us. Okay, here we are.
There he is.
Here we go.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, what's going
sorry,
on? I've been trying for like the last 10 minutes to get in.
And you didn't see the join, right?
No, I just got it maybe 10 seconds ago.
Huh.
That's me. You know, when I first time, usually I start Hangout to inviting you, like specifically, and then the whole circle, photography, that studio Hangout I have. And
Yeah,
when it dropped...
I think there's something weird going on with the invites, because if Ron isn't here...
No, Ron shouldn't be here. He sent me email, he won't be here for a few more.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
He's
Hey, Dave.
traveling.
Dave, do you use Chrome?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the plugin for Hangout Canopy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's
weird,
me.
but the invite just came through a few
Dave,
seconds
it's
ago.
me. It's me. Like I said, I did invite you first time, but when I rebooted machine, because I dropped first time, I didn't invite you. I invited the whole circle, and looks like you are not in that circle. So it's completely me. Sorry, I was trying to kick you out.
I'm so hurt. No, let's keep going. Go ahead. Where are we?
Okay, so we discussed Ron Gibbs, Ron's shot, because let me jump back. This one, you've probably seen it, right? Pretty cool shot, and I said that everything looks cool except that the flame is not really reflective on the. I mean, the reflection is not bright as it should be, and it's a little bit flat, like Tim said. It's flat because it's lack of highly reflective, like overexposed area and dark areas somewhere on those.
Contrast.
Yeah, contrast probably. The rest is pretty cool, and yeah, just give us your opinion, Dave.
The colors in the background take away the focus on the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I always try to focus on is keeping the subject. I mean, my eyes are peeled right on all those colors in the background. Well, it's cool to have that kind of stuff, but it can take away from the focus of the subject. And when you lose the viewer's eye, you lose the viewer's eye. And that's really that's what I'd say about this. I hadn't seen this. Well, I saw it while I was trying to watch through the feed. But if it were me, I don't know. I think those background colors might have been helpful. Hold on a second here. Let me pull it back up. Maybe if they were made monochrome, just sort of black and white, the background also. So the only color you'll have in the frame then is the flame, which would probably bring the attention to the flame. So.
Right. Yeah, that's an interesting point. I didn't see that about this at all. I was kind of concentrating only about reflections, the technical stuff. But yeah, thank you, Dave. Okay, let's jump to the next one. Yeah, Terry Krum. You see, when you look at this, even though it's not perfect, especially top of it, you immediately see that it's reflective. It's completely glossy object, right? Because it has black and bright areas. Completely black and some are exposed areas. So that's what gave us that kind of feeling that it's glossy stuff. Obviously, we need to fix the top of that, how you called it, A, whatever. And Zhenya said, you know, it can be easily done in liquify by extending this white area up to the edge. When you fix this top of it and you fix in liquify, I mean the bottom of it, and then just increase that bright area, and it will do the job. But it's kind of post-production anyway. Other than that, it's reflective, and we see it again cleaning in post-production, kind of fixing lines, making it more smooth all over the place. That's what I would do. Maybe angle, but if photographer selected this angle, he's probably fine with it. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, whenever I think of chrome, I think of the chrome filter in Photoshop, which gives you these wonderful smooth transition lines and these great waves that go through it. Yeah.
What is it, Dave? Chrome filter, is it like?
It was an eye candy filter that they put out, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and probably still have it.
Yeah, it's one of the standard filters, I think, in Photoshop now.
Yeah, but eye candy was the first one that I ever saw did it, and it was just these wonderful, smooth lines between the transition from the dark areas to the white areas. And I hate to say it, sort of set the standard for photographers, which is a real pain in the ass to get. But yeah, so when I look at this, I see sort of that area you pointed to at the top there, Alex, where it's sort of broken up a little bit. I get into the dark areas also where it's a little bit rough. Eye candy is a tough one to live up to, but it's something that we sort of have to live up to. Really tough subject, though. I mean, there are so many angles in this damn thing. I don't know if I could do much better with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know, I think the subject itself, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like this thing is actually cast out of some sort of clay or porcelain or something, and then coated with chrome, which doesn't. It's not solid metal, I don't think. I could be wrong, but it looks like the surface of it is not completely smooth. So when it's reflecting, if you look at his shot setup, it's on the top. It's reflecting a piece of paper that's sort of draped around it, and it's not that piece of paper isn't completely lit, so it's darker than the rest of the reflections. Right. And when it's reflecting that, because it's not a perfectly smooth surface, he's getting these jagged reflections, and it's just the nature of the object. I think it's pretty.
The Photoshop. Yeah, the only thing to fix is probably Photoshop if you have an object like that. Yeah, true. But anyway, shot is really good. Let's jump to this one. Paul, it's yours. Yeah, I know you use a similar technique as I did for those brushes, for the cosmetic brushes we did, right? Some kind of arc on top of it. And it looks pretty good, but this cap, is it completely chrome-like or nickel? I mean, is it reflective completely?
Yeah, it's completely reflective.
Okay. You see here, you don't, probably the same thing on my shot, I didn't look at them, maybe same kind of mistake. That it's hard to tell that it's completely reflective. We have bright areas, but I think it's lack of dark areas. It should be a little bit darker, probably in the middle or on the edges, but something which, so more contrast basically. We need more contrast. Okay. And other than that, it's great. Yeah, so you know how you do it when you use that kind of tent on top of this. Just move light closer to it, and it will create even brighter reflection where it's highlighted, and it will be darker on other areas because it won't be diffused that much. So that's probably, or even you can do it in Photoshop a little bit. But if you talk about lighting, usually it's a good thing to move light closer to the diffuser.
Yeah, I did burn the top darkest reflection. I did burn that a little bit darker.
Oh, so okay, I see.
Because it was looking a little too flat even.
So even more.
So yeah, I probably could have gone further with it.
Yep. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a completed product.
There's that wonderful thing about Chrome is the difference you get in tonalities from the dark to the light. Excuse me. I'd sort of think that was more of a matte top to it than a pure chrome kind of thing, like a brushed stainless or something.
Mm-hmm.
Cool as hell shot though. Don't get me wrong. But if I want to think chrome, like Alex said, I want to see some blacks in there, and then I want to go to the whites. But well controlled. Now, was the background put in, or did you sort of elevate the whatever the hell this thing is, the mascara? I'm a guy. Above the background a bit?
No, that was added in post. It was shot on a white, just a white card.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a shadow to give it some depth, just a little hint of one. But neat shot. I love the tonality in the left side of the tube. Cool sort of greenish thing going on there. Works really well with the background color. So good job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Very good note about the background. Actually, it looks floating a little bit. We don't have shadow, and plus the background a little blurred. And eye tells me that at this kind of magnification, it shouldn't be that kind of blur that much, probably. So that kind of creates a little floating effect.
Okay.
Yeah, but great shot. It's great product shot. Okay, Steve, it's yours, right?
Yeah.
So I'll concentrate on the cap because that's what you were shooting for the assignment, right? So you see, it's again perfect illustration that it's a reflective chrome cap because we have the dark area, and what it would lack a little bit of brightness on top. That will even add more to that idea that it's chrome, Because dark is great, we need a little bit more brighter on top. And you know what? You have this really cool background, kind of gradient from bottom bright and then darker on top. What if you would have gradient on that top of the cap going other way? So closer to background it will be brighter, and then a little bit darker to the front of the cap. Imagine that kind of big transition between really bright and a little bit darker, and then to completely dark line all around. It will probably look very cool. I don't know how it was hard or not, but just an idea. If you would
how would you go?
On top. Yeah.
How would you go about it to get the dark in the front? Because I only had my strobe, my speed light. I don't know if you've seen the setup shot. I had the diffuser on top.
Yeah, that kind of about diffuser. Let me check it just a moment. Steve. Usually you need to put a light on the diffuser, so it will be a gradient over there.
Well, that's what I did. I had the light on top of the diffuser, which was on an angle over it.
Okay, I'll search for that. Dave, let's tell us about. Tell your opinion, and I'll search for the lighting setup.
Well, I know the shot is about chrome, and actually, I sort of like the cap. I might even up the black area a little bit. Go into Photoshop and maybe just sort of smooth it out. The one thing that I really, really sort of miss in this is some sort of definition in the salt itself, which I know really wasn't the topic that we're shooting for here, but, that could be a salt shaker filled with milk for all I'm seeing. Now, I haven't shot salt enough, but I've shot sand, you know, in time glasses and stuff to try to get a lighting situation that will bring out some definition within that also. And by the way, that big, huge reflector is really cool. I got to get one of those damn things. But I'd love to see more in the actual sort of bottom of the bottle itself. Even though we're going to shoot for a certain item, we can't forget the rest of the shot. So I'd like to see the grains in there a little bit. Maybe sea salt would have been a good idea, because much bigger granules and might reflect light a little bit more. I don't know. But as far as the cap goes, I sort of dig it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's nice. Thank you. Thank you. I kind of, sorry, maybe it sound like I kind of said it's wrong, but actually it's very good. Like a very good shot, very good illustration to how it's supposed to be done. But let's look at this lighting setup. Yeah, great idea about that big reflective stuff. You see, you have that. It's huge comparing to the cap, right? The reflector, and the spot you created, it's still too big to create that kind of gradient I was talking about. If you move your light closer to that reflector, you see the light. So it's a smaller spot on it, smaller, brighter spot.
Actually, that was almost, it was about 4 inches off the top of the salt shaker. I just lifted it up to get the setup shot. No.
Yeah, you see, this is sort of the situation where grids come in really handy. And I love the damn things, and I've probably become too reliant on them. But you know, you get a good 20-degree grid in there, and it's really going to focus your light. So maybe you won't even have to get it as close, but it will focus the light wonderfully. The world opened up to me 3 years ago when I found grids. David Honnell makes all these great little attachments for speed lights. I mean, grids and gels and you name it, just these things that Velcro onto the front of your lights. If you've never seen his stuff, I think it's Honnell.com, which is HONL.com. And it's just these great little things that he's created that you can just put in front of a speed light with a, he goes by inches. It's a 1/4-inch grid, an 1/8-inch grid, which I think comes down to a 20 and a 40 degree that really allows you to focus light with a speed light in a grid. And it's wonderful. So once you start messing with those things, and not for nothing, they're cheap as hell. If you're working with speed lights, which I did for years and years, you find his stuff, go to his website, order everything he's got, and just have fun, because it's really opened the door for guys who like using speed lights.
I actually tried it to put the light. I used a zoom head on my flash,
right?
And I wasn't getting the uniform gradient on top of the cap. I was always getting a harsh hot spot.
Yeah, sure.
That's why I put the large cardboard on top to even out the light more.
Is that just white cardboard, or what color is it?
Yeah, it's white.
Okay.
Well, maybe you're right. It's it's always hard, easy to tell, but sometimes hard to do. Just sitting here, but.
So, Steve, is that just one light that you use then?
Yeah, one single shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, the idea how you done it exactly, how it's supposed to be done. Let's say about this cup, big diffuser or reflector on top, and we have perfect thing here. Okay, let's jump to the next one.
Just a real quick question. So, how did you keep? It looked like you had red in the background. How did you keep that, or out of the chrome, or did you have to Photoshop that out?
No, well, I had such a small aperture that cut all the light all around.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Yeah, and these are, I don't know if you can really see on the webcam, But these are Honels. You know, really small and then a little bit bigger. Just amazing stuff. These things open the world to me with speedlights. So check his site out, man. You'll buy everything he's got and have fun.
Yep. Alrighty. Go to next one. I forgot who did this one. Do we have the image owner with us? No, guys? No.
Yeah, I actually didn't do one, so.
Okay.
I tried. I spent it after about 3 or 4 hours. I gave up. I've got my object here, but.
Oh, you didn't do it? You didn't do it? Okay.
I did. This is. I wasn't gonna switch to something small. I had this coffee press. This thing is just. It reflects everything in the room, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. Yeah, big in chrome sucks. I found that out early too. I had an Apple that's about this big. Oh God! That I was trying to shoot, and I couldn't do it. I'll be the first one to admit it. I went to something smaller because I couldn't deal with it. Maybe that's what I should have done. I thought of it, and then I thought, you know, this is supposed to be. This is a challenge, right? Let's do the hardest thing I can find, and I don't know. After like 3 or 4 hours, I'm like, screw this. I thought, you know what? I'm still going to hang out. Maybe I'll learn how to do this.
You know, it's funny. I remember a few years ago, I was shooting kitchenware for Walmart, and first assignment, they brought several items, and one of them was a kettle like this, completely chrome. And it was, when I looked at it, oh man, first time, and it's like, so yeah, I built actually it was just a paper. I didn't have the translucent stuff. I used just a roll of white paper. I built like cycloram, or how you call it, all around. He made a hole in it, I mean, for the lens. And was kind of, from the top, I was kind of trying to highlight it. It was fun. Okay, let me jump.
Oh, maybe that's what I gotta do, because I was just, oh God, I was pulling the little hair I have left out to try to do this thing.
Okay, this shot. Again, pretty good shot in terms of dealing with reflective objects. We see it's kind of glossy, it's highly reflective because we have bright areas, dark, probably too dark, and dark areas, that dark probably should be smaller. I would just make those lines thinner. And if we have this kind of nice edge from the left, the bright edge, probably I will add same edge on the right side as well. Framing is not good. It kind of, I understand it was made for the deep in water, but we need to see more that product on top, I would say. And the spot, oh, what's the noise? Tim, some noise is coming from you.
Sorry, let me just mute that for a second.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, the spot, the bright spot in the background should be probably maybe behind it. I don't know why it's there. Other than that, good reflections again. Dave, what do you think?
Same thing. Not much more to add. Really like it though. I mean, this has potential for a really great shot. You know, I'm just a sucker for stop motion kind of stuff. So, you know, maybe the light just being a little bit smoother. You know, whereas the other image we were talking about, there's got to be some dark spots in it. I'd like to see some light underneath this to sort of catch the stuff straining through the bottom. But you know, it's sort of cool. I like things that are a little bit different. So the comp doesn't bother me too much in this, but I'd really love to see a light in the bottom sort of showing the water coming through. Yeah. What's probably the little holes all through the bottom of it, not that I can really see it, but and maybe even a little bit more angle on the subject. You know, it's sort of hanging in limbo right now. It's not horizontal, it's not really a diagonal. But what if that were more of a diagonal? Might give it a really cool feel.
Yeah, and cropped to too tight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Bill Cahill joined us. Hi, Bill. How are you? Do you hear us?
Oh, can you hear me?
Hey, there you are.
Yes.
Hey.
You sleeping already? No.
No. No, I got home. I just got home from work, so.
I see. Yeah, we're talking about this reflective stuff. Probably you know a lot.
So what was
how
your
hard
thing?
to deal with.
Reflective stuff this week?
Yeah. That assignment was just to shoot something highly reflective, chrome, nickel, or something, and just to kind of show how to deal with reflection with that. Like here, I was saying about those dark lanes. How do you shoot subjects like this? How do you approach them?
Well,
If it's kitchenware or something really, really shiny.
yeah, it's one of the more tricky things to do, but yeah, that's the one that's. Can you bring up one of the shots?
Which one?
Yeah, well, I haven't looked at any of them yet, so.
Oh, you know, I can send you. I didn't upload it anywhere, and now they hard to see all of them in one.
For me, it's all a matter of keeping some interest into the chrome, keeping it looking like chrome, not too soft, but you know, you have to keep some black in there to make it look like chrome. You're going to have the lines pretty much no matter what. I always try to pick an angle that helps me out a little bit. You know, it's if you're shooting anything round and reflective, you're going to see yourself in it. So you've just got to either mask it in a way that looks interesting, or find a way to you know, make those black lines part of the composition.
Right. Thank you. You know what we'll do? I won't have time to post like whole gallery somewhere for you. It will be later anyway. Just look at the picture which will be on my screen, and if you have something, just say okay. We'll go through the rest.
Yeah.
So if you have
No
time,
worries.
cool. Thank you. Okay, so we got this one, right? Let's jump to this one. It's kind of pretty fun. And this more artistic shot than product, and I don't know, I just like it. Nice idea, nice realization, the colors, you know, that foil on the bottom. Well, Dave, tell us, because that's from more in your area.
I don't know. Sort of cool, really flat, not really sure what I'm looking at. I wish I had some time to go over these before I got on here tonight, but I just didn't. You know, sort of just, I might have liked to see maybe one or two of the items, more of a close-up kind of thing, to get more of a feel for the texture. This is just too much, just not doing it for me.
Mm-hmm. It's too busy, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it lacks some bright spots to actually pull your view in. Everything looks orange to me. I mean, I know there's some green and yellows and blues in there, but everything's about the same tonal, not temperature, but
yeah, you're going from mid-tones up to shadows. There's no real quarter tones or highlights in there. It's just all sort of dark.
And it's flat looking too. I think if the angle was, you know, it looks like he shot from above and he came down a little bit, aimed, you'd get the definition of the shapes better.
Yeah, you know, George Lepp put it best for me, and I remember reading a book of his years ago about photographers, and he said, photographers should think about photography like writing. There's a whole book, there's a chapter, there's a paragraph, and there's a sentence. Photographers can't fear to go into the, which he means get closer to it. Get more intimate with it. This sort of reminds me of the book. But there's probably, within this frame, there's probably a lot of cool stuff going on in there. But you just need to get closer to it. Lepp is a great writer. If you haven't read any of his books on photography, do it. Because he talks more about the philosophy of photography as opposed to how to actually do it. If you've ever seen his monarch shots from Mexico or wherever the hell he was, the guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to composition and framing and everything. My only suggestion with this would be sort of what Bill said, try to get the tonal gamut into it, but also get closer. Find the one or two subjects in this that really stand out and let the viewer see it.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Okay, I just posted the whole gallery into chat, and it's on the Studio Photography Insights page. So you can open and go through them rather than look at this web camera thing I post. So let me jump to next one. No, this one, next one. Okay. You see, here it kind of the reflection from that thread helps us to get the idea that this is reflective and glossy subject. Otherwise, it will be a little bit harder because we don't have two dark reflections here, right? Only like soft and somehow bright from the background. But here it's kind of, yeah, we see that it's reflective because of the thread. But without it, I would probably, like Bill said before, should be more contrast, more darker area and a brighter area somewhere. We have bright, actually. We have brighter area. The bottom is, it's pretty bright, so probably we need to add some dark line somewhere. But anyway, with thread it looks fine, so probably I just do it. I mean, it looks good. Bill, do you want to say something for this? No? Let's go like this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It's the bell looks, it's lit pretty well. It's soft, but yeah, there's not much going on. The composition, there's not a whole lot to look at that's really that interesting. But as far as a chrome sphere, it's a fairly decent job. Was the camera retouched out of it? Is that how the camera got out of there? Or?
Sure, I'm not sure. Let me see.
Could it have been lined up with one of the slots?
Did he put?
It looks kind of like in the middle that there's a patch job or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would almost have to be because I'm guessing that bell is really small, and the lens is going to stick out like a sore thumb in that thing. So.
Yeah. I'd like to see, a gradient. You have a hot area, and then you have a shadow area on it, and you can. It's not that hard. You take a subject like this, and you put a gigantic, diffusion over it, and you make it soft, and that's fine. But the trick is to make it look really interesting.
Yeah.
I think composition would help in this also. Coming from my sort of perspective, I actually sort of like this shot. The field open more. I'd like to see the camera angle lower, but I'd like to actually see more of the red to sort of give a flowing element from left to right in the frame. Maybe something that would bring the eye. If the threads were going out of the right side. You see how it's sort of cropped on that loop at the bottom? If the camera was pulled back a whole bunch and just given sort of a flowing element from the threads back into the ball, sort of creating a leading line with the thread that doesn't take your eye out of the frame, but sort of brings it into it. Maybe a little bit more tonal characteristic within the bell itself or the ball. I think that is a bell, by the way.
Bell, right.
I think more of a longer, leaner kind of framing would have helped this a lot. But that's just That's just my personal sort of take on it. I love things that I love negative areas, whether they be white or black. And I think if you can frame them correctly so it brings the eye to the subject, it works really well. And this could, it just needs a little bit more work.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah. Okay, next one. Jewelry. We don't have Ron here. You might tell a lot. But I love the shot, the definition, the sharpen, the everything. Even that red highlights from the bottom. Great idea. It just look amazing. Maybe I would crop it a little bit closer, but again, it's just personal preference. The only thing what I would do here is a little bit more post-production. Like this dark area on the bottom, you see it has some kind of
even that out.
Yeah, so this black line should just go smoothly all the way to the end. And probably something here should be fixed because, well, it's just a post-production because it shows the nature of the product. The shot itself is great. I don't know, I wouldn't shoot it better probably at this angle. And with
the only thing I do is burn that bottom right corner. It's really red, it's really bright, it's tucked into the corner, it's where your eye's going to go because it's probably the brightest part in the frame when you get down to it, at least the most colorful.
Yeah,
so,
probably crop it like this, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I don't know how you can crop here, but...
No, I get what you're saying, though. Try to remove a little bit of that bottom right corner to really bring in the subject itself. Yeah. But man, that's... What is that, lava? I mean, what is that?
It's like, well, you see, I think it's wood, but he did it, highlighted as a...
petrified wood or something like that.
Yeah.
It looks like a post lava, though.
I think it looks really, really cool. The only thing is that the color and texture of the wood or whatever that is a little too close to the color and texture of the gold around that ring. So I'm losing the gold right around the middle of the ring.
I see.
Yeah. If I can say something,
Sure.
Yeah, I think it looks all right. I miss the gradation of light from looks like you lit it from the right or front right to the back. You know, if you move the light closer, you'll get a stronger gradation of light, and then the background will go a little bit darker. And you want to see some of that, what light does naturally, how it falls off. And it's a little too evenly lit. As far as the top of the thing, wood, whatever. The ring, I think it's lit fine. I'm not a big fan of that style of ring. I don't think it's, there could have been, I'm sure it's whatever was on hand. I think there could have been probably a better choice, but other than that, it looks good.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Okay. Let's jump to the next one. Well, probably it's same thing here as we told several times. Especially the top part of it kind of lacks that gradient from darker to brighter area. It has some brighter, but it doesn't have much of darker. And I don't know. For me, it looks like it's almost like it's out of focus, but it's not out of focus. It's everything fine. And well, that's probably...
Well, I don't know about that, Alex. If you look at the top of that thing, the chain
top is completely right. Chain is... that's what I was trying to say. Chain is completely glossy. We see it. Because chain has black and bright areas, right? If you look closer. The whole thing, whatever it is, for T or whatever, it doesn't have it. That's why top of it looks more flat than the bottom, actually. Well, bottom, it's too dark anyway to see anything.
You need to light it where it looks, where it goes shadow, highlight, shadow, highlight. You need those transitions. Otherwise, it's going to look, like you were saying, especially on something chromy, it can look out of focus because everything's so soft. The the diffusion in front is wavy, and it looks like it's dented because of it. But you need to think, how when you light a ball, you get a highlight, you get shadow, you get highlight again, and then shadow on the wrap. There's that's what shows off the shape of a subject.
Yeah, it's funny. You need to almost create a shape on the diffuser or reflector, whatever you use.
Yeah.
Because the object is a mirror. You cannot do anything to it. You just create a shape by creating those highlights and dark areas on the diffuser, and
you have to do it on diffusion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tricky.
So then the trick to chrome really is no light really directly hits the object. It's all got to be the diffusion or reflecting off a white card or something like that.
No direct light, because direct light will be a small bright dot on it.
Right.
Especially if it's spherical, right? It's
Is that what we're seeing there in the bottom right?
Well, unless you're an idiot like me who takes strip boxes and just throws them directly at it.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having a large strip of whites if it adds shape, and then you do some other things around it. But yeah, I mean, it's all whatever you're reflecting. I shoot a lot of cans, and what we do is we have these diffusion panels that are 10 foot tall and 6 foot wide, and they're like 3 feet from the cans, and we just create our shapes on the diffusion pan.
Oops. Is it me? Oh.
And Bill, there you are.
And we light them, and then we have one light adding to it. But yeah, it's all reflected.
Yeah, we lost you, almost lost you, Bill, but now you're back. Sorry. It was some probably hiccup on the internet.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm glad you didn't fail completely. Okay, let's jump to this one. Well, Zhenya first, when she's seen it first time, said, "Oh, again, background is not white." And it's thing. So it's kind of it gives a kind of dirt look, right? Probably he didn't have enough light for this, but anyway, it should be brighter. As for the subject, you see where we have those highlights and shadows, it looks reflective. The rest look flat. So definitely we need to create something on that the side of it, on the left side. Gradient again from dark to bright, maybe a few more. Because it looks like we see the two just sort of reflector or whatever it was, diffusers joining together, because that's what the line is. So you need to get, yeah, go ahead.
On these flat areas, you can do something creative. You can, you can have a piece of diffusion. You can have a diagonal line, and you light the edge of the diffusion, and it kind of gradates off, and then you can do something on the other side. And then when something's etched like that, you can have a hard light hit it, and it kind of picks up the edges of the etching, and then it also kind of makes it look chromier. And like your wife was saying, the background needs to be white, or a big gradation that goes from white to gray or something. But and I know when I think about it, I envision a certain amount of lights. I see 2, 3 lights on the left, and 2 on the right, and 2 on the back. But you kind of do what you have available. Right.
I think he has 2 lights. Last his shot was 2 speed lights or something. So it will be really hard. But if you would fix at least the big portion, the left side, the flat of that can, it will look much better. Dave, do you have anything to say for this?
Just the drop is such an important part of this shot, and it's just lost. I really want that pulled out, and I think it would help it a ton. And yeah, the background isn't white, but you can do that in post. Cool idea. Like it a lot. just needs a little bit more refinement and light. You know, and you start thinking about what else could be trickling out of that canister instead of just a little, you know, clear drop. You know, maybe a green drop or a blue drop, but green, maybe giving it sort of an absinthe kind of feel to it, would probably help a lot. What Bill said about the front, that etching, would be really, really neat to pull out and show some detail in. And something I'd sort of like to play with to figure out how to bring that out. But cool idea. You know, if you got the idea, then it just takes experience to figure out how to do it. But the idea is the cool part, so I'm with this.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, let's jump to this one. Timothy, it's yours.
Yes, it is.
Great shot. Yeah, great shot. I like it. I think it's one of my favorites from this submissions. You see, I can just only tell how cool that when you have this highlight and then dark areas and then just grayish, more grayish, and that's look good. The only thing probably I would put more lights on, maybe like a backlight somewhere to the ground. So it's the bottom is a little bit darker, and we almost don't see the other side wheels, you know. So maybe a light from behind or something to add, like we have this on front of the car. I mean, on this side, we have some texture on the ground, whatever that. So maybe some texture or maybe some highlights on that side. But again, it just little addition, and I'm not sure how it will look. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks good. I would just push it further. The background, the clouds look a little bit dark. If you want it to look more like sky, I know it has kind of the illustrated toy look, but if you want it to look a little bit more like sky, I would brighten it up a little bit. Do something with the surface, like you said. But the car looks good because you see black in it. You see the turning of it. You see the shape just fine.
Yeah. Dave?
I love those subtle little gold tones right around the tires. I think that's really neat. Yeah, that's the first thing that drew me in. As far as the highlights sort of under the car, those little white areas, if you can't pull out the tonality, remove the tonality. But cool shot. I love the way you handled the chrome. I think that rocks. Absolutely. Tim, how did you set this up? I mean, what was the setup? Were you using reflectors to make this happen?
Yeah, well, my primary light was diffused quite a bit. Actually, let me see if I can share the image with you.
Okay.
So I have a strip box up here hitting my diffuser.
Oh, okay,
huge
cool.
diffuser here, and then let's see if I can get a better image. So I have several reflectors and things set up to shape the reflections and so forth.
What is the size of that thing you have hanging over it?
Yeah, that's cool.
That is huge.
That's a full body size diffuser. I'm sure Bill's familiar with those. It's a 72-inch by I think 36-inch diffuser. Yeah. So I use that for portraits too, but.
That's a pretty cool thing. But Bill, I think you use the ceiling, right? Like this, sometime. You just highlight the ceiling.
Yeah, no, I have. I do use the ceiling. I have a large stretch canvas in my studio that's on ropes that I can move around. That is similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my ceiling's black, so I can't really use the ceiling as a reflector. But I use the 72 by 36 diffuser as a reflector sometimes too. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Dave. Great shot.
Thank you.
And now we know how it was done. Okay. Dave, it's yours. Well, when I've seen it first time, I thought, wow, cool idea and execution. But then when you showed how you did it, and it's like just a one shot, I was like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, the water, I'd love to say this is one shot, but it's not.
Okay.
The faucet and the glass and the splash are. The trail of water I worked with a little bit, and I'm sure Genia would look at that and say, oh yeah, because I'm not a Photoshop guy. If I had 3 or 4 days, I could have pulled this off, but I had about 4 hours to really go and work at it. So it's, my lighting on the chrome isn't that great. It's about as good as I can get in the time I had. And rigging this thing upside down like I did, that took a little while to figure out. I actually had a water hose hooked up to that faucet to sort of pump it out. But of course, the pressure was just either too much or too little to not give the kind of flow I was looking for. So yeah, there you go. That top hose is actually hooked up to a water source. And this was one of the earlier shots. It got real messy. I had one shot. That water shot out of that thing about 4 feet. It was amazing. I could have taken a shower with the damn thing. But lots of fun. Had a ball doing it, and I'm going to continue to work on it because, my goal is always try to get it in the frame. So I'm gonna keep working on it. But fun picture. A lot of things I'd like to change, but I'm gonna have to borrow Genia from you for stuff like this from now on.
No problem. We already offered it you, right? So go ahead.
Absolutely.
Don't worry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What I would probably do here, it's a little bit darker. The whole faucet and the water, a little bit maybe more light on the back, or I don't know. Water should be, maybe a little bit brighter. Well, it's probably in Photoshop and probably a little bit brighter.
The contrast in this thing definitely needs to be brought up. Get the blues, take some of the red out of the blues to make them pop a little bit more. Maybe even the one thing that really bugs me about this is that little handle thing on top of the faucet, how there's no real light on it. That tweaks me a little bit. I'd like to see a little bit more light on that. After hanging everything upside down, I was happy to get what I got. So.
What was your background on that?
The background is a Manfrotto shooting stage. So it's just, there you go. You can pretty much see it.
What you need to do you need to get, I like the whole shot in general, but to get that water to glow, you want it to glow because it's looking dead. It looks almost solid, murky.
Right.
And the amount of coloring is good, but so if you, I don't know, the surface isn't translucent, is it? You can't use it as a diffusion, or?
No, it's translucent.
Absolutely. I shoot right through it.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the light, I think, needs to come up, or at least when you're capturing the blue. Maybe you did have too much blue liquid in it. But if you move the light up, and the light's coming directly through the water, it's going to start glowing from the inside, and that's when it starts looking really, really nice.
Yeah, I definitely needed to take the reds out of the blues and maybe some of the black out of the blues to get that whole sort of really translucent feel that you're talking about. I was working on this a little bit more today, but didn't post it. If anybody really looked at this close, you'd see that the water stream when it hits the glass, the rim of the glass is not on top of the water stream, which is sort of a dead giveaway that it's not real.
I see it. Yeah, I did notice.
Yeah, well, it's small, so you'd never see it. But definitely the kind of details I want to be there. But Bill, you're absolutely right. There has to be, that blue has to stand out like crazy in something like this.
You know,
but my Photoshop skills are not good, and I'm trying to learn. And this has taught me a lot. This whole forum with all you guys, so I'm getting better.
Bill, are you saying for him to shoot to have it brighter behind the diffusion panel? To get it brighter, the blue?
Well, it's more about the location of the light.
Right.
He has the light really, really low in the frame, so you're not getting the glow behind the water. For water is translucent, so you need it directly behind, just a gradation behind there that's going to make it glow. And when I look at a shot like this, I look at it as the way a marketer would look at it. If you're Kohler or something, they want the water to come out of there looking refreshing and light, and they want to see the aeration that's done through that the faucet gives to the water, and all of that. And so you need to make, and I would even consider shooting it with and without blue, or maybe just a little bit of blue, or just changing the light in a way that makes it glow more. And then for the faucet, even adding a really small hard light to it to ping up some of the edges to make it look like it's not only shiny, but it's almost sparkly, like it's very high end, and it has, there's little pings of hot spots on it, just in strategic little places.
Yeah, and also that glass has to be a 1/4 inch over to the right, a 1/2 inch over to the right. The offset between the stream and the stem is offsetting to me. It's not the symmetry that should be in this shot. When you're talking about horizontal images like this, it really should be, the stem of that glass should be lined up with the stream of the water and the horizontal of the faucet itself to sort of give a symmetry through the whole thing, and that's just not there. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of crap I'd change in this. The few things I do like in it, though, are the blues that are reflecting into the chrome. It doesn't show it enough on the net, but in a larger size, there's this great sort of smooth feel to it from the transition from color, and I sort of like that. The way the stem of that headpiece is sort of pointing up to the glass, like it's looking at it, is sort of neat. I come from an artistic side. I'm not really a commercial guy. So there's a few things in this I like. There are a lot of things I don't like. But I'm working on it.
Dave, I can only add, did you try to highlight with this stream from behind with like a spotlight just to the stream? It won't make it glow, but all these little sparkles you have, they will be really, really bright. It may look.
Yeah.
It's just an idea,
I had every light I had available on this thing, which I have 5 Einsteins, and they were all cranking on this. And I wish I had 2 or 3 more to sort of focus in. I work in micro lighting. I don't like broad overall lighting. So I like a lot of lights throwing out a little light to sort of make a point. And if I had 1 or 2 more lights, I probably would have been a lot more happier with this.
I see.
But yeah, you're absolutely right, Alex.
Well, it may work, may not. It's just we need to try. Okay, guys, this is my bunnies, rabbits, how you call it, them. This is before Photoshop. This is basically as is from the camera, and that's what Jenny did. If you look what she actually did, she made darker and smaller, and brighter. If you like, see that smooth overall, but that's basically what she did. And I can show you how. Well, you can guys discuss it. Bill, you probably can say something, Dave, and I can show you how you shoot it.
Yeah, you're great, and I hate you. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's a brilliant freaking shot, man. There's nothing to say about this. You know, I actually thought these were glass before you said they were chrome. I mean, it's got that clear-through nature to it. The shapes within the chrome are just so wonderful. I have nothing to say except, you know, bite me. That's all I can say. You're a great photographer, man. I'm really proud to know you.
Thank you, but I still need to learn a lot.
I like this one better.
Bill, tell something bad about this, please.
About the one with your face in it?
No.
Well, no, I just like showed.
Well, what I mean, you know, the only thing I say is, you know, that it's lit really nice. The chrome is really nice, but it tends to look kind of like a catalog shot in a way that, you know, we show these two bunnies. I want to see it push a little bit further. You know, maybe the two bunnies are pointing at each other, and there's something happening in between them, or something.
Carrot. We were looking for a little carrot, a real one, but very small one to put, but we didn't find it, and we said, oh, you know.
Yeah,
but you're right, absolutely right. It's kind of plain without, like they said, no emotion, right? It's, yeah.
And the surface, I don't know. I'm not too keen on the surface. He might have gone full bore and done like a chrome surface as well. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I sort of dig that surface. I think it breaks it up nicely. You know, a chrome surface in there might have been just too consistent throughout. It might have worked, but I think the texture in it sort of helps it a little bit to keep it from just this totally smooth thing going on.
That's what I got. You see, it's white from one side and kind of, how you call it, with those little feather-like thing. I don't know. It's on.
Oh, it was a silver.
Yeah, it was silver, but it has the texture, you know, a little texture.
Yeah,
brushed metal.
Yeah, brush metal, exactly, like a brush metal. Yeah.
Oh.
So and you know, it looked fun because when I put bunny on it, the bottom, which reflected the surface, look almost like the, you know, how you call that, skin, not skin, but the feather.
The fur, rather.
The fur, yeah, the fur of the bunny, which I said, oh, you know, because when I make it 100%, it looks cool. And you know, I was trying to shoot it first with big cone, and I have it for jewelry, but the funny thing with those, because it's almost like a spherical, it reflects a lot of stuff from behind. So if I shoot camera here, it reflects everything from far behind, and I didn't have a cone. I can't get close enough to get cone almost connecting to the ground. So I went with this. I'll show you. It's kind of funny. I did. So this is that translucent plastic, right? Whoa, it's. So I just hang it on top of it, stick lens in one side, the bunny was in the middle, right? So it was like this. And it almost like very good surface to drive any gradients, highlights, and I have that another translucent diffuser on the back to create that gradient, and basically this. So for this shiny stuff, the kind of the best idea to surround it with translucent kind of diffuser and then play with it. And actually I was using, let me show you, I was using lights with like a grids, right, to make it more spot. and plus barn doors. It's easy to create, like a gradient from, if I do like this, it will be almost like, and get close enough to the diffuser. It will create like a line, and then the rest will be nice diffused light, like a gradient. That's how we did on the backs. If you look at the bunny backs, that's basically, this is, well, the black reflection comes from behind. That's what I left a gap between diffuser on the back and that kind of tent on top of it. And this gap is what visible on both backs. And then I have this highlight and diffuser light. Anyway, it was a fun shot.
Yeah, I'm a huge render fan. I've always been. I love 3D renders. I've got some friends who are like it in the world of 3D. And I've always tried to get my pictures to try to look like them. And I think you really succeed in that. I could show that to any of them, and they'd think it's a render. So that's pretty cool stuff, man. I love that picture. I really do.
Thank you. Yeah, especially after Photoshop, it looks like.
No, the before shot looks great too, man. Give yourself some credit, will you?
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
I love how the entire thing is outlined in dark. All the contrast around the ears and the back of the bunny on the right side. I love how the bunny on the right is reflected in the bunny on the left, but you don't really see the reflection the other way around. I thought that was just too cool. I thought it really interesting too that Jinya changed the shape of the reflection on the ear.
Yeah, that's it is. You see, it looks nicer after her edit, right?
It does, and I never would have seen that.
That's what she explained me. I don't know, did she use liquify here or not, but the idea is you can use liquify to shape it, to shape reflection, to shape shadow. It's pretty cool tool.
Oh, I used liquify in mine, and I've never used it before, and I was having a field day. I mean, that there's some fun stuff in there, man.
Okay. Well, cool. We went through all of them. I didn't think about assignment. Do we have good idea?
I didn't think about. I didn't think about it either.
Bill, what do you think?
Oh no.
No. Come on, man. You're under the gun. Do it.
No, tell us. Let's do. What did you do last week? What was challenging? Maybe last few weeks.
Oh my God! I've been shooting.
Did you went to London? Have you been in London? That was.
No, that's not for 2 more weeks. No, it keeps getting pushed back.
I see.
No, I'm shooting. I've been spending a week shooting. I shoot these Turvis cups. It's an insulated plastic cup, and we shoot them. We throw them in the air. We shoot them with splashes with ice and different colored liquids and all of that stuff. I've been shooting that for 5 days now.
So let's shoot a cup.
Cup? Well, what about? It's a little bit not kind of product photography type, but I think it's very demanding for many guys kind of struggling with it. What about art reproduction? Did you guys ever try to shoot any it can be any kind of art, starting from sculpture or maybe a picture, or I don't know. Will it be interesting to learn how to do this? No?
Yeah. For like juried art type stuff?
It was actually, I know, I had even few assignments from local guys to shoot some, like a framed picture, for example, and to make, when it has texture, when it's not just photography, but I mean, with that oil paint, where it has all that kind of stuff. But it will be hard to find.
Well, you know, I had a critic write about me once in a London newspaper that I'm a photographer who takes pictures of stuff I create. So when you look at a lot of my stuff, it's sort of this created crap that I just happen to take a picture of. You know, the skull with a bunch of needles in it. It's not as much about the picture as what I've put together. So shooting art or shooting anything, you know, I've got these speakers in my studio, which is some guy created these speakers out of PVC. It's bright yellow. It's beautiful. So when I take a picture of this, it's going to look cool. You know, how is this not going to look cool?
Right.
Taking a picture of something that was created is sort of what I do. So I don't know if people would be into it, but you know, you could take a little Canon point and shoot and take a picture of it. I don't know. I don't know if that's where you were going with it, Alex.
Okay. But cocktail. Let's shoot cocktail.
Cocktail. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we got it. Next assignment is a cocktail. It can be any type of cocktail in any shape. Excellent. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Bill, Dave, well, everybody. It was cool.
No problem.
Hopefully next
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Bill.
Yeah, no problem.
It's great to see you.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks, guys.